Lifetime Achievement Award, William Seimer.
You know, when I look over my career, think about that first job, I was still, a 21-year-old person, and so my sense was that I had a good education at Eastern and some good training with the firm I went to work with, but I really didn't understand the business of this business, as is probably not surprising. And I gained that perspective over the next few years, and when I left Cooperson Lybrand to go to work for American Sign and Indicator, I gained a real sense for how the business of public accounting really worked. Certainly I understood the professional side of it, but understanding it from a more practical business side, and I missed it dearly. So looked around, found a little firm with about 9 people in it, McDermott, Mickelson, and Seacrest, which has now become Eide Bailly in this community. And so I was employee number 9 with that firm. And we had a few over 50 people when we merged with Eide Bailly. So I could never have initially even imagined where this career would go, to go from a big international firm to a small local practice. I was very proud. I think we practiced at a very high level, and then gained the notoriety that a firm like Eide Bailly would look at us and say, yeah, you're just like we are, we'd love you to join us. But I think when it comes down to my personal view of how I've gotten to where I am today, it's coupling that practical background and that great foundation that Eastern gave me with the ability to work hard and lead by example. All of my community work has at its roots my involvement at Eastern. I thought back over the last several days, the first community organization, if you will, that I belonged to, that I was engaged to lead was Beta Alpha Psi at Eastern. I was asked to join the accounting fraternity there and became its president. And as I think back, that was the first organization of its type that I really was asked to lead. And it taught me a lot, gave me a self-confidence that allowed me then to go out in the community and deliver in several other different aspects. Without that involvement, it may never have happened. When we look over my shoulder here, you see the Fox Theater, and that could have very easily been a parking garage. And I was just one of many that worked on saving that theater. But I certainly put that up there in my list of one of the greatest accomplishments. But I think truly my greatest accomplishment is attending university and graduating and having success in a career. It's something that you can't just point to one thing. You have to look at a whole body of work, if you will. But coming from the humble beginnings that I had, it is truly my greatest accomplishment. I have kind of a funny hobby, and you may have heard of it. I race cars for a hobby, and I race vintage cars. And my dad was a mechanic, and he had a garage, Ace Auto Repair, just down by Gonzaga Prep. And as a young child, I would go down there and hang out after school or hang out during the summer months. And I had my go-kart down there I could drive. So it's not such a stretch to imagine that I would now buckle into a race car and go out and play. It's a family type of hobby. You see families engaged because you have to have the support of your family to do that. If Renee wasn't there with me and buckling me in the car and supporting me and telling me to behave myself, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. When I graduated from Eastern, you kind of move away from the school and you get engaged in your community and your career. And it was several years later, just a few years ago, when I knew someone in development at Eastern who asked me to come out and talk to parents who were thinking about where to send their children. And it gave me a chance to talk about the Eastern environment and what I found there. And I found that I was in a position to reconnect with the school at that point and to hopefully give something back. And I've loved that participation with Eastern, to be able to see students and see them achieve success, to see the institution change dramatically. Being involved in this community is again one of the things I feel so fortunate to have done. And I'm not done yet, too. It's kind of funny when you say Lifetime Achievement Award, you think, well, you're kind of done, and I'm not done yet. There's a lot of things I would like to do and plan on doing.